that every single thing along the line was done by individuals. They would, the materials would be gotten. They would be handed to somebody else. That person would hand them to somebody else. They would be manufactured by somebody else. They'd hand it to somebody else. They'd be delivered by somebody else. They would be put on the shelf by somebody else. And this is what's happened. This is how you're going to be hit with cap and trade on the energy. There's got to be nickel. Actually,
it's nickel and diming you.
Nickel and diming,
as they used to say.
And while it doesn't look bad because it's only going to hit energy, it's going to...
Energy is all-encompassing.
It's just like they said, it will reach the point, for instance, that we weren't being facetious when people were talking. Facetious, that's a stupid multi-syllable word for lying. Sometimes I sit there and forget that I actually do have a very well... I got an education better than Obama's, folks, so... and I can use the big words like he does. I try not to, but... well, we weren't being facetious because when we're talking about the swimsuits, for instance, okay, that little white swimsuit and the little purple bottom and the French swimsuit,
oh, actually, here's a
that one, and then the French bikini, which we don't have over there.
Oh,
okay, there it is. Those are 3 god-awful expensive swimsuits. And one of the people we were talking about, you're going to have to decide, well, because they're going to become more expensive because of cap and trade, you're going to have to decide which piece of the swimsuit you're going to keep then.
Are you going to keep the top?
Yeah.
The bottom?
Yeah.
Or just do away with the whole thing?
That's right, because they're going to be cost prohibitive to... It'd be cheaper to wear a one-piece swimsuit that nobody wants to wear.
I don't have a one-piece.
No, one here we've got them, but it will be. He said.
Okay, I'll give you a one-piece swimsuit.
Yeah, no, but we got a lecture that he said that it will put women into one-piece swimsuits because the 2 pieces are going to become cost prohibitive.
Or they may not wear swimsuits at all.
Or they may not go to the beach as a result.
They may not go to the beach.
That's right. Those are the basically the unintended consequences of doing something without really giving it any thought, because that's how our Congress works.
Well, it's that ripple effect through the economy as to how it changes people's behavior.
But we're going to do considering more on they're going to tell us about all the things that we haven't covered next.
I know. You've got more things to tell us about cap and trade. We know that.
But
we're going to share it with other people that may not have the same understanding as you. But right now, we're going to keep it a little capsulized.
Yeah, we do little pieces. So, because they seem to take it better from the Bikini Czar than they do anybody else. Well, because she has nothing to hide. Yeah, and then like I said, if it gets down to the decision of I'm assuming that under the Democratic Party, basically you're going to be able to wear anything you want to wear at the beach soon.
You think so?
Yeah. So then
they might just tax you on what you wear.
Tax you on what you wear.
Or don't wear.
And what you don't wear. That's fine. Okay, you can go to the beach with the butt showing on your swimsuit, with the bottom, but you'll have to pay for a tax to go there. Or you can go to the beach with no swimsuit on, you have to pay a tax to go there. Or you go to the beach with the one-piece suit on, and you're going to have to pay a tax for wearing that one-piece suit.
It sounds like no matter what you do, you're going to get taxed.
Because they got.
Oh, actually, they do need to increase taxes somewhere.
They got to increase it somewhere, and they do it. That's called a sin tax.
Well, and part of it is not just federal, because even here we have a bag tax that's coming up here in the city of Los Angeles. Yeah. I'm showing this as an example, but the bag tax is what, $1/4 for every bag?
$1/4 for every bag, and you know that
so when you go shopping, if you don't bring your own bag, they're going to charge you for it.
Yeah, and and it can. We know that a dozen bags would be normal for a grocery shopping system.
Yeah, and that's because part of it is those little plastic bags. They don't put that much in it. No. So part of it is if you need 12 bags.
Yep.
12 times 25 cents. What is that? $3?
Yep.
Yep.
That's $3 to every
extra onto your bill.
That's right, and then they're going to hit you with a tax for the disposal of those bags, because That's right. See.
And you're thinking, why? They wouldn't do that. Well, when you buy a television set, they hit you with a disposal fee for electronics.
Yep.
Even though you're not disposing of it right then.
That's right, because that's what's done. That's how they make money. But see, all of this stuff, everything we're talking about too, is also a byproduct of cap and taxes. They're saying it because
cap and tax.
Because they're all made. Okay, everything you see in front of you, everything is a product of petroleum. Everything.
Oh, you know what? You're right, because you know how you can tell? It stretches.
and everything
right?
there is a petroleum
It
product.
stretches.
Except for them.
Well, actually, this is a material that has petroleum product.
Yeah.
Unless you have something that's stretched.
100% cotton is the only
100%,
thing.
I don't have anything.
Which
100%
actually I got on me, so that's all petroleum based. Yeah, it's all petroleum based, and that basically everything you see, it would have extra taxes put on them because of petroleum bases, which is mostly why they're sitting there. Is because there is no cotton, there's no 100% cotton there. That is all petroleum, and a lot of it will stop being used for the simple fact that they won't pay the prices on it. So we're not, I won't use that bad multi-syllable word again. I'll say we're not fibbing to you. Filbers eat filberts, as my sister used to say. No, we're not fibbing to you when we say that they are going to bloody tax the swimsuits that you're wearing.
Yeah, and we're using swimsuits as an example because I'm the Bikini Czar, but it doesn't stop at swimsuits.
No.
It's it's your cap.
Your glasses.
It's your glasses. It's your sandals, your shoes. It's everything.
Everything is going to be subject to the law of unintended consequences. I can guarantee you that this was not meant to hit the customer. This was meant to go after the evil petroleum manufacturers that are endangering the world.
What happens is every time they decide to do something like that, and I say they as in the government, it always comes back to affect the consumer because no matter what they do, if businesses have to pay more for taxes, it gets passed on to the consumer.
Yeah.
Somehow. Because even though they're saying, well, like the higher minimum wage, they're like, oh, it's not going to affect the consumer. They don't have to pay more. Well, it does affect them because either there's not as many people working, there's shorter hours. Yeah, well, what they did, though, is say the facts were, they said it will, basically, once again, you have everybody is right and everybody is wrong. It's not going to cost jobs because most of the people aren't going to fire. They're going to cut back on the hours and they're not going to hire. So then the people are saying, well, you're going to lose 300,000 jobs. Well, technically they're right, technically they're wrong. But this is how they play with politics. Neither side seems to care about the people. I mean, I think, I know that man is causing a lot of the problems in the world, but I also believe that if they weren't supposed to cause the problems, they wouldn't be causing them. No, okay, you figure it this way. Nature is the meanest, that's where that law of survival of the fittest comes in. You think about what happens with animals and creatures without man. That's right.
They would, one group wipes out another. If mankind was not supposed to be doing what mankind is doing, nature would put an end to it real rapidly. It wouldn't be one of these things, well, in 100 years, the sea is going to raise 10 inches and wipe out all the East Coast. It would be like you'd have an ungodly superstorm and it would wipe out the East Coast.
That sounds biblical.
Well, no, it's just nature. It's historical. I mean, it's historical. If you abuse things too much, nature has a tendency to compensate for abuse.
Oh, you know what? You're right. It does.
That's right. It compensates.
It's just like your body. Your body tends to compensate.
Yeah.
Right? It's one of the most finely tuned
instruments ever created. And remember, the Earth is a living, animate object. If you drill too much in an area, what happens?
What? You have shifting.
The Earth shifts to fill in the area you've drilled in.
And you have earthquakes.
Earthquakes. If you take too much water out of the ground, what happens?
What do they call that?
Basically you turn it.
They don't call it earthquake.
They
have another name for it.
It's called deserts. And man can't live there anymore. If you farm too much in an area, salt comes in, and you can't irrigate there anymore.
Well, for example, if you an animal, if you if you fish too much in one area,
then the people in that area tend to die off. Everything is a check and balance system.
Or whatever feeds on that animal
dies
off, and it goes through the
right along
chain.
the line. It's basically, so I figure that nature will take care of everything. Okay. I can let you